we can go ahead and make sure that, that, that the income keeps going, the income keeps flowing, and you guys keep reaching milestones and everything like that. So yeah, so a little bit as to, our back office and everything like that. The whole purpose of QBI is, to write applications. Obviously, QBI is very important as you're writing applications and everything like that, but mainly important to, retain your clients, keep your cash, and most important, also keep your people as well. Now, luckily, it's just QBI is just the basics, fundamentals of understanding the money inside the business and basically just how it works. So obviously, if you're getting into something, you want to know exactly, okay, how exactly am I going to keep my money? How exactly do I make my money? If you go to a regular job, you're going to see, okay, if I put in 10 hours, they're paying me $12 an hour, I'm going to make $120 that day, because you're putting in 10 hours. You already know what you're going to do. Now here, you want to know exactly how to keep the money that you got, how to retain your clients, which is something very, very important at the end of the day. And also most important, keeping your cash, keeping money inside your pocket, making sure that, that money doesn't go away or anything like that. What if that money that you could have got could have been money that could have took you closer to your watch, could have been closer to go ahead and take you to your ring, things like that. You don't want to go ahead and lose out on extra money, right, Deshaun?
Right.
Yeah, of course not. Now, also another important part about QBI is, how to reinstate your policies. So obviously when you're reinstating a policy, you can do it through the app. So luckily Primerica made it very, very easy. So you guys can do it from the app. Obviously, if you guys are New York licensed and everything like that, you guys will be having to do, paperwork and everything like that. Now, basically, where you go ahead and go find it, you go into your app, and it's very, very simple. Go into your Primerica app. You go ahead and you just click Turbo Apps. So here over here, Turbo Apps. Then you just do the policy change form, and then after that, you go ahead and you pick your client, who your client is, and everything like that. It's very, very easy. It's nice and simple. So in this case, in this scenario, I picked some, it's a random. It's not even a random person. I just made it up. I just put John Doe. John Doe, and then I searched them up. Bam. Make sure that the policy is active here, because then after that, if it says terminated, it will not allow you to go ahead and reinstate a policy at all whatsoever. You would have to fill on, a paperwork and all that stuff. So you would have to do that, differently. Now, if it says active on here, how you proceed with that, you click on here, and then it takes you to another screen. It takes you to a screen that looks like this. Now, this screen basically goes ahead and it tells you okay, so that's your policy change form. The continue is going to tell you all these changes that you can do. You can add the child rider. You can go ahead and update the policy owner information. You can go ahead and update even the beneficiary. You can go ahead and update the billing information, which is something important because, paperwork sucks sometimes. Well, all the time, it's not easy because, trying to get a hold of the client, everything like that, trying to get them to go ahead and sign something. Might as well just get on the phone, bam, 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 go ahead and update the billing information, nice and easy. Okay. And then same goes with updating coverage. If you want to go ahead and update, increase, decrease, whatever the case may be, go ahead and convert coverage. You can do that all in one app. And luckily Primerica spends, over hundreds and thousands of dollars for programs like this. So they can go ahead and see okay, they want to make things easier for you guys. And I'm pretty sure you guys like things easy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys don't want to be doing paperwork all the time and everything like that. So, as they're updating the systems and everything like that, they're showing you guys okay, we can go ahead and do this online. Let's just make it a lot easier for you, JJ. Now, with that being said, also the main documents that you will use as to, the main documents that you will use when you're doing the back end office and everything like that is basically two documents that are called an MRN and a plic plat. Now, the MRN form, basically, it's pretty simple. Maurice told us that if the payment didn't go through, that it has to be the same as the bank information that you inputted during the application. This is if the payment didn't go through, the first time, the second time, whatever the case may be. But if the bank payment did not go through, you have to go ahead and submit this form. Now, what ends up happening, let's say when you use your plic plat, it's for the reoccurring payment. So obviously they're taken off of monthly draft. You want to go ahead and put them back on. You want to go ahead and fill out a plic plat. Okay, Jared? Now, obviously, if they go ahead and, they miss out on, what the purpose as to why you would need, an MRN and a Flick platform is because, that means that no money was drafted from the first time. So let's just say you submitted the application and then after that, the application didn't end up going through. It was cash on application was returned, things like that. You're like, what the heck? Why aren't I getting my money? So you go ahead and you just fill out the simple forms. The MRN form, the click flag, then you're gonna be able to go ahead and get your money and everything like that. So the only time that you need both of those is when no money is drafted from the first time. That's the only time that you need both of those documents together. Okay, Jared? Yeah. And then, does anybody have any questions so far?
That's good.
Let's go. So another thing is, how to exactly define the paperwork. Usually, we go ahead and we ask our uplines like, hey, can you send me this form? Hey, can you do this for me? Hey, or they tell you like, you know what, go call home office, go do this, go do that. But it's so simple, So basically, that's the whole reason why we have training. So you guys can learn exactly how to utilize these tools to your advantages, So basically, how to find the paperwork is very, very easy. Go to Primerica online, and then you click right here where it says products, and then you go where it says life insurance. You click that. Once you click that, it's gonna take you to a page like this. Now, it's gonna have like six little little icons. You click quick links. Once you click quick links right here, it's gonna show you up a box like this. You go to forms, choose one, and you choose, the US life operations and forms. After that, what you're gonna go ahead and do is it's gonna take you to a map. So obviously, depending on whatever state you ended up writing that policy and everything like that, what will end up happening is you just pick which state it's from. So obviously, if you're writing a lot of business in Florida, you'll go ahead and click on Florida. Now, when you click on Florida, it's gonna take you to something like this. It's gonna take you to a page where it has all the documents in. So there you can find your click flag. There you can find your MRN form. There you can find your backend change form. There you can find all the forms that you need to go ahead to be able to, go ahead and submit them. And now another thing that he did want me to touch base on a little bit more is, licensing. Licensing is very, very important in this business, because at the end of the day, my coach always told me, if you go ahead and build something up, what's the point of, hiring all these people when you're not getting them licensed, And there's no point of keep restarting every single month all the time, over and over and over again. That's why it's so important to build, get people field trained, get people in their bonuses, and then after that, go ahead and get them licensed. People, that license, they can go ahead and get paid every single day. Louis, I know that you get paid every single day from this license, right? It feels good, right?
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, you want to go ahead and utilize this license for yourself. Go ahead and utilize this license for, okay, if I can go ahead and I have the ability to go ahead and make money every single day, I might as well go ahead and, use my license so I can get money every single day. Now, with that being said, obviously this is very, very important right now, especially to our hierarchy, is to go ahead and get people licensed. That's our very, very big focus, and one of the first steps to that is, going ahead and registering them for class. So you register them for class and everything like that, whether that be in person or whether that be online as well. Obviously, if it's in person, it would be great because, they have a teacher, they have a tutor there, they're able to ask questions, they're able to be interactive, everything like that. It's amazing. Now, how many people have went to the in-person class here? And I'm pretty sure you guys can say that the in-person class was a lot better than, the online option that they offer, right? Yeah. It's like school. It's technically like 3 days back in school, but it's those 3 days will basically go ahead and they'll give you that license that, that you're able to go ahead and print out money. That's the whole purpose as to why you want to go ahead and yeah, it's 3 hard days, but you're going to be perfectly fine after that, Now, registering for class is important. The second step would be go ahead and, schedule people's fingerprints. Obviously, they went through the success cycle yesterday. They're talking about the importance as to how exactly, how to get people off to a class start, what to go ahead and start doing, when to go ahead and sign them up for their classes, when to fill out their paperwork and everything like that. It's important to do this stuff right away. Because if you don't do it right away, people see like, okay, you know, I just did my 124, this and that, you know, like, what's next? You know, if people see that you're there all the time, that you're here, like, let's do this, let's do that, let's submit appointments, let's go ahead and, you know, create this. Let me teach you how to go ahead and prospect. Let me teach you how to go. If people see that you're pouring into them, they're gonna be like, okay, Natasha, you're pouring into me so much time. Your time is valuable, so is ours. So at the end of the day, let's go ahead and create something. That's basically how they see it. They see it as, okay, you know, you're trying to pour into me, you know, you're watering me, let's go ahead and flourish. That's basically how it is. That's basically what you're doing to people. You're basically watering the plant over and over and over again until they go ahead and grow. Now, basically, here you go ahead and get their fingerprint scheduled. It's very, very easy to go ahead and get their fingerprint scheduled. So I'm gonna go into that exactly, like how you go ahead and, you know, you do your fingerprints and everything like that. Also, another thing is to do the Florida questionnaire. Well, obviously there's, if you're doing it in other states and things like that, it would be a different form. It would be the NAIC form. But, you know, we have a hyper focus here of, you know, going ahead and hiring people that are here local. So, you know, we go ahead and we do the Florida questionnaire. Now, the Florida questionnaire, they made a new questionnaire, so they're not using the questionnaire that they used back then, okay? And also, set up their DICE account. That's very, very, very important. And schedule their exam on Pearson VUE, okay? Once people have their exam scheduled, they're gonna be like, okay, I had to go ahead and take this exam. You know, they already see like, okay, I already have a set date, I had to take this exam, whether I like it or not. I had this one girl last week. She took her exam on Saturday. She basically went to the in-person class and everything like that. But then there was a family event that ended up happening, like something happened in her family and everything like that. For a month, I didn't hear from her. I followed up with her and everything like that. And then she was like, well, yeah, you know, she's like, yeah, I want to go ahead and get my license. I know I didn't waste, you know, 3 days for no reason. So I was like, okay, yeah, like, let's go ahead. We studied for a whole week. She took her exam on Saturday. She ended up failing, unfortunately, but with a 69. Yeah, so she was right there. So at the end of the day, you know, you always want to go ahead and keep pouring into these people and making sure that if I would have never went ahead and scheduled her exam, she would have never went ahead and you know, took it. You know, Deshaun. So obviously that's why it's important to go ahead and, you know, schedule people and get them, you know, get them licensed. And same goes with uploading the fingerprints and the receipt to the email. After you go ahead and get them scheduled, you upload the questionnaire or recruit tracker, and if they went online, you upload the online certificate through the email as well. Okay, now a couple things about this. Where exactly do you upload the documents and everything like that? Now, basically, where you upload the documents, you know, there is 2 simple places. One of them, you go into the email. So what you send to the email is, you know, the receipt of the fingerprints and the online course certificate. Obviously, for other states, you know, it might be a little bit more different, you know. Sometimes I've seen for other states, you can upload the fingerprints through the recruit tracker. Now, here, for the recruit tracker, all you need to upload is the Florida questionnaire. For the Florida questionnaire, I know this because I did this wrong one time. For my first questionnaire was, it's always yes to number 13 and always yes to number 20, question number 24. If you don't have yes to those 2, and you know, most of the time we click no, they're gonna send it back and they're gonna be like, you're gonna be like, why isn't my agent getting their license? This is not, why isn't their application going through? This is that, you're wondering, why is it taking so long? And then you call home office and they tell you, hey, it's because you got number 13 wrong. You press no instead of pressing yes. And then that's when you go ahead and you fix your mistake. Now you fix your mistake and then you go ahead and, you know, you send it in, you know, you guys already ended up making that mistake, so you guys don't have to make it, you know? So you always say yes to questions number 13 and 24. And when you're on recruit tracker as well, you upload the pass notice. So you upload the pass notice and everything like that. Obviously, once after you make your DICE account and everything like that, you're gonna go ahead and sometimes the DICE account issues the license before Primerica even gets a license. So if you catch that, you go ahead and you get the license from the DICE account, you upload it on your recruit tracker, it gets appointed a lot more faster that way. Because instead of waiting on Primerica over and over and over and over and over again, waiting for them 2, 3, 4 days, they're gonna be like, okay, well, why isn't this person getting appointed? Oh, and then you check on their DICE account, their DICE account says, hey, they already have their license available, Lewis. You just go ahead and take that PDF, go ahead and upload it on Recruit Tracker, they get appointed literally, most of the time, the fastest I've seen it is they get appointed the next day. Yeah, so, and then. Yeah, so I think that's all for that. Now, I am gonna show you guys exactly how to do the DICE account. I know some people may not know exactly how to go ahead and fill out a DICE account and everything like that, especially if you guys are brand new. Now, I found this perfect thing. I was playing around POL and everything like that, and I ended up finding out that Primerica already thought ahead and, made something like this. I didn't have to go out my way to go ahead and make something, oh, I'm not sharing the screen, sorry guys. That made something like this. So basically here, all it shows you is that, here it shows you exactly how to create a DICE account. So when you go onto the DICE account, the website that you click is right here. So it's dice.fldfs.com. That's where you go to go ahead and create somebody's DICE account. Once you do that, if obviously in most cases, people don't have a DICE account already. In most cases, they don't have one. So you go ahead and you create the account. After you create the account, you go ahead and select individual here. So you select, it says, please select your account type. It's gonna go and select like a lot of things. You don't click insurance company or anything like that. You just click individual because it's for an individual. I know most people would have thought at first like, oh, you click insurance company, especially if you're brand new. You're gonna think, oh, you have to click insurance company. No, you click individual because it's for the individual. And once you do that, you go ahead and put in your person's social security, their date of birth, and that's practically it. Now it's gonna take you to a screen like this. Sometimes it will have like their demographics already filled out. In other cases, what ends up happening is that, sometimes you would have to fill it out for them, So you go ahead, make sure that you put an email that they have access to, because it will now, what DICE is doing, they're sending a code to you guys. So I'm pretty sure you guys are aware of that, right? Yeah. So now they're sending them a code to make sure that they have an email that's actual, that's verified. Now, with that, once you verify the email and everything like that, you put their home address, their basic information and everything like that. It's gonna send them a code. Once they get the code, you go ahead and input it, and it's gonna take you to a screen like this. Now here in the screen, basically you just make a basic username. So basically, like how I like to do it, just put their first and last name there, nice and easy. Now, obviously, if they want to go ahead and put what username is better for them so they can remember it, you can do that as well. And then create a password, security questions, and things like that. After that, it's going to tell you that, you successfully created your account. Once you successfully create your account, you go ahead and, you go to the third-party privileges. So here, you click apply and go to third party. So once you go to third party, you go ahead and it takes you to a screen like this. So you're gonna go ahead and then it's gonna say choose from the following, put new third party. Then after that, you're gonna go ahead and add the email. The email that you add is fl.rlc@primerica.com. This is the same email that you guys will be sending the documents from the fingerprints and the certificate to as well. Okay, so once you create that, it's gonna pop up like that, and then it's gonna pop up somebody called Lynn Jones. So it's gonna say Lynn Jones, it's gonna have this address, this email, this phone number, and then you just click select. If all these things are correct, you're gonna be like, okay, perfect. Now, once you do that, you click on new application, the send emails to third parties and submit documents. That allows guys to go ahead and be able to go see everything that Primerica is giving to them, the application that they sent, all that stuff. It allows them to get the questionnaire and all that stuff. Primerica takes care of all that stuff instead of you uploading it to DICE account, yourself. So that's the beautiful part about that as well. Once you click permissions are saved, that's basically how you go ahead and create somebody's DICE account. It's nice and easy. Okay, so yeah, and that's practically, basically what, Coach wanted me to go ahead and talk about. I know we wanna go ahead and talk about some, a big event that we do have, it's called ECDS. Now, basically with ECDS is something very, very important. It's basically this weekend. So it's this weekend, it's a very life-changing event. I know when I first came into this office, we had like, basically, I think we had like, yeah, our second week here, we weren't even here for like a whole month. We were here for like 2 weeks, and then we were like, okay, it's time to go to ECDS, and well, TBLS it was at the time. We're like, okay, like, let's go ahead and go. TBLS is a life-changing event, and I remember when we went to there, our first speaker, it was this guy named Harvey. His story is crazy. It's crazy. And after I heard his story, I was like, wow, like, you know what? Like, it's something that you never expect somebody else to do. That he really showed us that there's no valid reason as to why you should go ahead and put your business behind yourself, like, behind yourself. And that's basically what he showed us, is because he basically showed us there's no reason as to why you have to keep making, certain excuses and things like that. He basically said, like, there's no excuse. Like, his mentality is literally, there's no excuses whatsoever. Because he was in the hospital, he was stabbed, he was, his guts came out and everything, and he was still studying for his securities license. So, and that's insane. And the craziest part is, while he was inside the hospital, I do remember him saying something about like how he was in the hospital. They had a plastic, like, how like when you have like your like your organs open, there's like a bag, yeah. So he had a bag over his body, and basically there, he went out and he asked the hospital, hey, is it okay if I go ahead and take my securities exam? And they're like, well, you're over here, like, you have like the bag over you and stuff like that. And he's like, okay, it's just gonna be like, a couple hours. Went ahead and they allowed him, they gave him the go that he was able to go ahead and take it. He ended up taking it, and I believe he ended up passing. So the whole time when he was getting surgery and everything like that inside the hospital, he was studying for his actual securities exam. And most people would take that as, oh, you know what, I'm in the hospital, I'm gonna go ahead and, lay in bed and, that's it. Now, he went ahead and he did what he had to do and more. He not only did he study, but he went ahead and he did everything in his power so he can go ahead and pass. And that really shows, like, the moment that I came into this business, it really showed me, like, okay, there's literally no excuse valid. Because if he was in the hospital, there is no excuse valid whatsoever. And, my coaches showed us that too as well. Gabby being pregnant and everything like that, she showed us that there is no excuse whatsoever. She was here in office all the time. Till the day that she legit had to go ahead and get induced. And that's what my coaches had taught us. And that taught me something inside the business. It's like the only person getting in the way of you and your business is yourselves. And that's one of the things that I've noticed about ourselves as well. As we're in the business and everything like that, we're going through the motions. Sometimes I see, and most of the times I see, it's like, yeah, Angel goes ahead and, he does what he has to do, but I put myself in the way of the business all the time. And, and it's just like a mental thing at the end of the day. We females, we allow our emotions to get the best of us and everything like that. So obviously you want to go ahead and have a mentality like, okay, no matter if I want to go ahead and, not get up out of bed, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that, I have to go do it. You have to go do it. Why? Because if you don't do it, you're going to go ahead and put your dreams behind you, So at the end of the day, I heard something that Edward told me. It's like when you're going towards your dreams and your goals, it's like you saying like, okay, like you say like, okay, I'm not going to go today, or I'm going to be late, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that. Like, doing everything but the business. It's like you getting off the highway every single time out of like every single exit. It's like you getting out the exit every single day. So instead of you reaching to your destination as fast as possible, you go ahead and you get off the exit every single time. So now it's gonna prolong you from getting to your destination. And you don't want to prolong yourself from getting to the destination of you guys becoming like, big and wealthy, right? I'm pretty sure nobody does. Yeah, no. So you want to go ahead and put everything in your power so you can go ahead and just put your hyper focus into this business so you can go ahead and make something out of it, you know? And that's why ECBS is so important, because they show you the true vision. They show you the true vision as to, oh yeah, we just think it's this office and everything like that, but there's so much more. And our vision, right now, it's like a small quarter, like a little quarter. Because it's like, yeah, we have our ECBS and everything like that, but convention is coming up. That's where everybody's gonna be there. Everybody in the whole company. So obviously in ECBS, we wanna go ahead and, you know, get into there, because it's like, yeah, right now, we're starting off the month and everything like that, so we wanna go ahead and start off the month strong. I'm pretty sure you guys wanna start off the month strong, right? Yeah. So, I'm pretty sure, I know yesterday during training, we were talking about, ECBS and everything like that. And I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys exactly how to, sign up for ECBS if you guys haven't already. If you guys are in the Florida area, obviously I would recommend for you guys highly to go. Because at the end of the day, you get to meet everybody and everything like that, and then all the speakers as well. All fired up? So, thank you. Okay.
Sushi again.
So it's here, it's in the Countryside Christian Church. So this is, April 24th, it's this weekend, so it's what is it, the 5th and the 6th? So it's Friday and Saturday. Now, basically for this event, here's the location and everything like that, it's here in Clearwater, so it's not that far from our office here in Tampa. On top of that, you have a lot of speakers that are talking to you that you know, that have been with the company for a while. You have one of the founders of the company, Bill Arender, that he's gonna be going ahead and pouring into us, talking about exactly how the company started and everything like that. Same goes with Andy and Brady Onstead, you know, I believe they're one of the fastest to the million, you know? And that's something very important, because at the end of the day, you wanna go ahead and hear from these people. How exactly did they go ahead and do that? How did they go ahead and, you know, develop all these people? How did they go ahead and, you know, do all these things? Same goes with Assad and Luis Farage. And then Jimmy Meyer. I remember hearing him, one of these times that we went to one of these events, and he's just like so full of energy. Like, it's crazy. Like, he's like full of energy, he's always there, he's always talking, like he's always moving, and it shows you like, no matter how the time passes by inside this company keeps you young, you know? And it's because of the energy and everything like that everyone brings in, you know, especially if you're making money and everything like that, you're gonna be, instead of you feeling like you're 50, you're gonna feel like you're 25, you know, and things like that. So, and then it's amazing that we have all these amazing speakers, like John Lavin, the Ortiz Generation Alliance, Toga is gonna be there, they're gonna go ahead and do it, you know, and we're so grateful and thankful for them, because at the end of the day, they provide this office environment and everything like that. They're always going ahead and, you know, pouring into us, and we're gonna go ahead and see them, like, you know, talk to everybody else as well. And same goes with Charlemagne, like I've heard him speak plenty of times, and this man, he's amazing, you know, all he talks about is, you know, growing big, making sure that we're doing big things, you know, always constantly talking to everybody that we have to talk to and things like that. So it's amazing going into this event as well. And then the schedule is very, very, like I said, it's here, it's on Friday. Basically, the opening session, it starts at 8 to 9. Well, at 6 to 9 p.m. Sorry, guys. And then the doors open on Saturday at 7:30. So you guys want to be there early so you guys can get good seats, because like our coach says all the time, it's much better to be up front than in the back, because the winners sit in the front. Yeah. So obviously we want to go ahead and, you know, show out exactly, you know, with our team shirts and everything like that on Saturday. I know you guys can go ahead and cash out Brand to, I'll go ahead and put it in the chat, the Toga Aviators. That's the cash app. It's only $20 for the shirt, so we can all be united. Because obviously, as I grew up playing sports and everything like that, basically, you guys know that when the minute that you guys saw a whole team with the same uniform and everything like that, you guys were pretty intimidated, right? Yeah, so same case goes here. We have to go ahead and, make sure that we all have the same shirt, that we all have everything that, that we're all coordinated together, on Saturday, and make sure that we're all a team. Because if we show up there like we're a big squad and everything like that, they're gonna see the highlighter shirts and they're gonna be like, yeah, that's Toga. They're representing, and everything like that. So that's something that's very, very amazing that we do have this weekend. So I recommend you guys to go. Like, I highly recommend for you guys to go. There's not one ECBS or TBLS that I haven't gone to, and all of them have been amazing. That's one of the best investments that you can make into your company. And it's going ahead, getting this mentorship from these people that, that you wouldn't get in any other company. In any other company, instead of paying $35 for a ticket, you're paying over $1,000. $10,000. Like I remember Ryan yesterday, he said something about Grant Cardone. Is just to be what, in an hour with him? It's like
10-30 minutes like with him, and it's like $10,000.
Yeah, 10-30 minutes with him, $10,000. And that's crazy. That's just to shake his hand, him talk to you for a little bit. He's not even in your industry or anything like that. So he's gonna tell you basic information that everyone has heard probably from someone else or anything like that he's learned. Now, here inside this company, you're gonna go ahead. Why spend 10 grand when you can spend $35 for somebody that's gonna be pouring into you, making the money, making everything, and not only that, but showing you how to do it in your business. Where's another place that you can go to that you can pay $35 for a mentorship like that? Nowhere. Yeah, I can't think of a place. Not even when I went into doing stuff for like medical school and stuff like that. Not once have I heard of a mentorship or something like that, or an internship that I'm able to go ahead and put a small deposit in and get a big outcome on. Never, ever. So obviously it's important to go ahead and get your people there. We obviously want to go ahead and have as many people as we can and have everybody all fired up. Because the moment that we go ahead and we have something like this, it's a life-changing event. So we want to go ahead and we make sure that we can go ahead and change as many lives as we can. So without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and pass it down to my coach, Edward. He's gonna go ahead and talk to you guys a little bit more as to, everything else about the business. And yeah, this is my coach, Edward, almost crossing 500,000.
Did you do an incredible job? Amazing. I remember Jocelyn first started, man. She could not talk in front of more than three people. Now she's doing training for almost 100 people, which is awesome. And man, growth is so important. It's so important. I'm so proud of you, Jocelyn. You're doing so good, guys. Training is a privilege, right? If you get called to training, it's because you're doing something right. So Hertz, they're doing so awesome. Last month, Miguel and her, they did over 30,000. How cool is that? I'm so proud of our hierarchy. We had over 10 people do over 10,000 premium personal. Deshaun, you did, was it 17,000? Meg, 18 years old, he's got $7,000 in pay for the month. We're doing such an incredible job. Airbell's over 7,000 in pay as well. It's did almost 18,000 personal, did over 30 by 30. I mean, we just had JJ, right? He's always here. Oh, yeah, he's never, he's not here. Actually, over 10,000 personal. Juan Aliaga, for the first time ever, did over 10,000 personal. How cool. Let's go. Ryan's still going. He's 20 years old, and he's by Friday, his cash will be higher than his age. How cool is that, right? Making 21,000 a month at 20 years old or more, right? I mean, just so special. Obviously, I don't know if they're always just very, very consistent. Guys, there's a wave going on now. There's so much momentum going on in this office. we have so much momentum and you don't want to miss momentum. If you miss it, guys, it could take a while for it to come back. Right now, there's a movement. Like I know a lot of you guys can feel it. Like there's a movement and something big is getting ready to happen. We're excited because we're gonna trade this thing in for a ruby ring, right? I'm tired of wearing that one. Everybody that's normal wears this one. There's only 130 people that wear the other one. I'm ready to change that for a ruby ring. But guys, look, like, we need to give it everything we got. Like this year, it's already month 4. It's already, can you guys believe it's April already? I mean, dude, it's April already, right? And then by the end of this month, it'll be May, and then it'll be the best day of the year, which is my birthday, right? And then a few months, but seriously, guys, like the year's just gonna go by like that, right? So what we do up here is no essential because we, yes, training, learning what to do is so important, but getting out there and doing the work is even more and more important. Right, guys, look, I'm telling you guys right now, if you guys want to get rich here, if you have a base shop under 50,000, it's not gonna happen. Okay, look, I'm super serious. We gotta raise our standards. We gotta increase it like big time, guys. Look, if your base shop, is under 50,000, lack of leadership. You're not gonna inspire people doing under 50,000. You gotta get your base shop to 50,000, like above that. Truthfully, north of that, but man, we gotta get our base shop. I'm so proud of our base shop. We did 76,000 last month in premium, which is awesome, right? But it's not 100. We're on our way there, right? But guys, like, man, like we have to get our base shop up. As leaders, guys, if you have people, always remember this, like, you always want your people to look up to you, right? So if your production, right, is not above your people's, then really we're not really looking up, right or wrong, right? We're looking to the side, looking down. Guys, if you want to maintain leadership, you got to keep your production up, right? If you guys have somebody in your downline that's doing 10,000, you better be doing 11. If you have somebody in an organization that's doing 15, you better be doing 20 or 30. You have to go up. Like, man, like Gabby and I, I can tell you, we won 1,000,001 things. So the last 4 months, our base up was like, it wasn't doing like as great as it could have been doing. Right. And Notorious, if you guys know us, we run the biggest base shop, but man, last few months, man, Island Lewis really just taking off, right? Brian, all these guys are just killing it, right? But I understand that whether they say it or not, whenever they do more production than me, I lose leadership. I know, I understand that. They don't have to tell me they're great guys. They're never gonna be like, hey, coach, like I'm being, whatever. It's not gonna say that, right? It's okay. But I lose leadership when that happens. Just how you guys, when you guys are districts and divisions and regionals, if you're a regional and you have a division under you that does 10,000 and you do 1 by 1, you're losing leadership. They might not say it, but they stop being inspired by you. And you know what happens, guys? That your words, whenever you don't do what you're supposed to do and you're not giving everything you got, they don't hold the same weight. So some of you guys are saying, man, like my downline won't listen to me, the line, because you're too close to them and you can't inspire somebody when you're right where they're at. Right? The only way that you can inspire somebody is being somewhere where they haven't been. And you say, look, if you do what I do, you're going to have what I have. But the moment that you get too close to people, guys, I'm telling you, you lose leadership. So, you regional leaders doing awesome. Look, Johnny, he's your regional leader, right? So, Sean, imagine if Johnny starts doing 30 by 30 and you start doing like 31 by 31. What is that going to do for your business? You think he's going to look up to you?
He's too close.
Too close. Right? We got to create separation, guys. And look, and the way that you do that thing is by hard freaking work. Right? So you advance a lot of work. Like, yes, working smarter is essential. It's so smart to work. That's key, working smarter. But you also have to work hard. See, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work as hard. So it's not just like, hey, and then here's the other part of that. If you have somebody that might be beating you right now, you really want to be number one, but you work super, super hard, guys, it's only a matter of time. Always remember this, like always make this be your catch rate, whatever, wherever level you're at. If you stop, I will catch you. The beautiful thing about our business, guys, is every single month, it's a new month. Every single month. And the thing about winning is like you constantly got to get it, man. Like you're an athlete, you work all year for the bowl, for the championship, for the World Series. And as soon as it's over, everybody's already talking about next season. Right or wrong? Right? Like, hey, anybody here know who lost in the Super Bowl in 2012? You know why you can't think of it? Because who cares? Because they lost. When we think about, well, I bet y'all could some of you guys could say, hey, who won, right? Tomorrow we can talk about who won, but dude, second place, nobody, like any sporting event. If I tell you, hey, who did the Diamondbacks lose to in 2001? If you're not a Yankees fan, you don't know what the hell they're talking about, right? 2003, sorry, because it doesn't matter. When you look at a record, it says these are the people that accomplished it. Nowhere when you go look at a record, it says these are the people that got close, right? You know, Ripley's has no second place, right? You guys look at Ripley's book, it doesn't say this is who did it, this is who almost did it, this is who got close, right? What does it say? This is who did it, this is who did it. Guys, this works the same way here. So if you're not where you want to be, but you start working super hard and you start doing the work, guys, everybody's catchable. Everybody's catchable. The biggest leaders in the company, they're catchable, but we have to buy into doing the work consistently. So what are some of the things that we have to do? Guys, look, if you want your team to show up early, you have to show up early. Do you have to show up early sometimes? When do you have to show up early? All the time. Leadership is somebody that's done it, that's doing it, and will continue to do it. Right? We can't continue to park, oh, I used to do this. No, we need to talk about numbers that we do now. Right? It's not, hey, I used to show up. No, I show up now. And what happens is, guys, and a lot of times people say, well, I don't show up because I don't have nobody showing up. Well, you don't have nobody showing up because you're not showing up. Right? Look, until you start having, guys, I'm serious. And I want you guys to take this personal. Until you start having 10 people show up consistently, you're not building a business. Guys need to have 10 people showing up consistently. 10. Once you start being able to put 10 people in a room, you start getting some traction. 15 is not, I'm sorry, 5 is not enough, 3 is not enough, 2 is not enough. You need to be doing 10 or more. Once you start doing 10, it's like this synergy that happens. To get ahead in this business, so it's not just you doing it, it's teaching your team. A lot of times we do the right thing and we say, man, like I'm doing it. Yes, that's good. But now, man, like you doing it is you doing it. But when you have somebody else doing it, now you're a leader. Right? Like you guys, it's not just so, yeah, some of you guys, yeah, I show up every day. Okay, great. But why aren't we, if you show up every single day, why aren't you adding somebody that shows up with you? Lack of leadership. We have to be growing that number. Like this guy, this meeting attendance right here, this is 51, right? 51. Guys, this number has to increase for our income to increase. If this number doesn't increase, our income doesn't increase. We got to be fanatical about getting this thing to 100 and 150 and 200 and 300 and 400 and 500. If this number doesn't increase, we don't make more money. So in a corporation, there's usually two ways to make your money. You can start making more dollars per transaction, or you can start doing more transactions, right? So guys, ideally with the training that we do here, you increase your dollars per transaction. You learn how to go, instead of selling a $30 policy, you learn how to sell $60 policy. Instead of 60, 80, you increase that. But if this is the number that's going to get us to explode, right? Leaders, look, I challenge you to make a decision to start pouring into your people. I see some of you guys have all this great information, but you don't pour it into nobody. It doesn't matter if you don't tell anybody. And look, you know, earlier in my career, I used to be like, man, like I just don't want to be that way because I'm not making income. And then I realized that I wasn't making income. I wasn't explaining because I wasn't doing that. You guys got to get every second that you get, it's got to turn into like a coaching moment. Guys, whatever you leave to yourself, it's going to go with you when you leave this earth. But when you pour into people, you can make a life-changing impact. I want every single one of you guys to take the information that you have here, that you get anywhere, the reflection thing, and start pouring it into your team. I know at first it's a little bit silly, right? Because you're like, I'm a rep, I'm a district, like I'm a division. Like, guys, start thinking of the person that you want to be. If it's regional vice president, senior vice president, $500,000 or $1 million, and start walking and talking like that now. See, guys, what happens is I was having a very deep conversation with somebody that's very near close to me, and they told me, they said, yo, do you think it's a good idea for you to say that? Because if you say that, then that means like you really have to watch everything that you do. I said, that's what leadership is. Leadership is putting yourself on a magnifying glass. I put myself out here consistently because I want you guys to hold accountable. See, today I had a doctor's appointment for any, only reason I'm not here. If not, I would be here. Everybody knows, like, I show up early every single time. I constantly say that because if I keep telling you guys, if you don't show up early, you're not a good leader. If you don't show up consistently, you're not going to do it. What do I have to do? Some of us are afraid of putting ourselves out there. I keep saying, look, as a leader, every single month, we will do 10 to 20,000 personal, every single month, every single month, every single month. What does that make us do? Do the production every single month. I say, hey, I show up, but nobody shows up. I show up, guys, like, you need to start talking and walking like that because you put yourself under a magnifying glass. We need to raise our self-identity, like, and then a lot of you guys that already know how to do business on Zoom and here, like, we know how to do the business. We need to snap. Guys, our base shops doing 10 and 20,000 is so small, like, that takes no effort. We can get better, especially if we've been here sometime. We gotta get this thing up. We gotta get, guys, look, what happens is, and I'm telling you, I've been there before. When your base shop drops, you lose influence and you lose being relevant. The company highlights big base shop. Have you guys noticed that? The events, what do they highlight? Big base shop. The office, even here in the office, right? Ed does a call every single morning. Guess who he highlights? Big base shop, man. You guys have to understand, small numbers are small leadership. Okay, now here's the thing, we're not gonna do big numbers at the sacrifice of bad business. We don't do that. That's not what I'm talking about. But we can build a big base shop and also do great business. If you think otherwise, it's just some limiting belief. That's not true, guys. You can run a big base shop and have a good QBA. As a matter of fact, it's easier to increase your quality of business when you have more business. Do you guys know why? Because you can turn away the ones that are not good away. When you're small, right? When you're struggling to do 10,000, QBI is the hardest to maintain. Because you have a sales like, should I put a CLD? But if I don't, then I'm not gonna get my bonus. Right? When you're scratching to hit 20, man, should this one, this guy's probably gonna get declined, but I gotta submit it regularly because if I don't, I'm gonna miss that 20 and 20 bonus. The bigger your base shop, the easier it is to run your QBI. It is a limiting belief to think if I do more production, I'm gonna do bad business. It is a limiting belief to say, oh, you see that? Like, oh yeah, I'd rather have smaller numbers and do better business than that. That's a defense mechanism. You can run a bigger base shop and have better QBI. We need to get these limiting beliefs out. Another thing, guys, we need to avoid like not working. You know that if you, whatever level, like if you're at a job and you show up consistently and you don't do what you're supposed to do, what do? They fire you at anything you do in life. You can be a doctor, you could be a construction worker, you could be a professional athlete. Like no matter what it is, guys, if you don't do what you're supposed to do, you're gonna get fired. But think about it like this, put yourself on the other side. Now you're an employer, Deshaun, and you pay somebody $200,000 a year to show up early, leave late, work hard, and be a leader. What do? You're paying $200,000. Now that person stops showing up early, stops leaving late, lacks the leadership. What would you do? Would you continue to dish out $200,000? Why not? They're not doing what they're supposed to do. That's how it works in this business, guys. You got to think of the income level that you want. So if the income level that you want is $200,000, like I believe all the regional vice presidents in this office should be making at least, I don't even use the words at least, 200,000 is the starting point. Because whatever at least is what you're willing to accept. So the starting point, so every regional vice president should be making $5,000 a week or more. That is a starting point. You can make $5,000 a week here as a vice president very, very easy. Regional leaders, the way that we have it now with Zoom, you guys should be making anywhere from $7,000 to $10,000 a month every month. Here's the problem, right? Here's the problem it is. If our goal is to do, okay, I gotta make 20,000. I want to do 30 by 30. Here's the problem most of you guys have. We don't do nothing for 15 days. Then we don't work hard for 7 days. And then the last week we're like, okay, let's try to get it. That is bad. That is poor people have it. Leadership is planning ahead and being on it. For example, you guys know what week makes the biggest influence in your business? Last one? The first one, guys. Like you guys did 20,000 the last week, right? Did over 20,000. Right? And then our first 2 weeks, first 3 weeks, we did 8,000. So we go, what would have happened if you had that urgency on week 1? 60, 70, 80, maybe even 100. So the key component is when you take off, like right now, guys, you guys know in a baseball game, statistically, the team that scores first wins the game. Statistically. And if a team is trailing after the 6th inning, the odds of you, like I was reading the statistic, the number one team, and this is pretty interesting. Actually. The number one team that let it come back only came back when losing more than 4 runs 8 times. That's number one in the major leagues. 8 times. Out of 162 games in the season. And of like 70 or 80 that they lost. Can you believe that? Only 8 times? You see that, like guys, most of the time when a team leads after halftime, they're gonna win. It works the same way in this business, guys. If we start off, and you're behind on production. Yes, you can get it up, but statistically, you're probably not. So why don't we put the odds in our favor instead of against? Guys, look, you need to be allergic to being here. If I want you guys, you have our approval to do this here. If you are walking around the office and I come here, what's your name? Anna, and I see my Anna, and Anna's on Facebook, and she's TikToking. Anna, you gotta get to work. Why? Are you married? Mom, married? Okay. Her husband thinks that she's here full-time working hard, right? But let's say she's here just messing around on Facebook, goes to lunch, takes an hour, comes back, takes your time, go to the office, hangs out. She loves Primerica. 2 months go by and the husband's like, okay, babe, well, you've been there 2 months, like, where's your cash flow? I know, babe, it's coming, it's gonna happen, eventually, you don't understand, like, in the future, man, it's gonna be so good, like, we're gonna, okay, we'll give you the husband, loving husband, working super hard, paying all the bills, taking care, comes back like, okay, babe, where's the money? Like, no, like, I'm telling you, they say, like, after the 2-year mark is when you start killing it. I don't know if we could make it 2 years, you know what I'm saying? Another 4 months, like, babe, what you do doesn't work. How could you? And then we come here and said, my husband is saying the business doesn't work. Guys, I've never had anybody, Gabby has never told me that the business doesn't work. We always make money. And we make a lot of it. Compared to most people, right? It's always like compared to we do pretty well. Our cash is still going, we're at 53,000 in pay for last month. Why? Because we constantly put ourselves on a pedestal and we keep going. So guys, the point that I want to make is you guys are here all day. Your significant other thinks that you're gonna work very, very hard. For those of you guys that don't have significant others, yeah, you live with your parents. You leave early in the morning. You put on your clothes, you got audios going, like they cut you open, Primerica's coming up. Right? You're in the car, come to the office, training's about to start, come here, you take badass notes. Bam. You come back here, and then training ends, and you go get breakfast. The breakfast lasts 2 hours. Okay, do it every now and then, once a month with your team. But you do it every day. Then you come here, you make a phone call, you had an appointment, doesn't go through. What do? You get on your phone, you scroll, and 3 hours go by, you're like, I can go get something else. Let me go get like ice cream or something. And then you go come back, then 5 o'clock, and then you go. And we do that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. If you go casual about your business, you will become a casualty. You guys need to be super focused on what you're doing. The problem that people, if you have somebody that doesn't support you, is you're not doing what you're supposed to do. So the culture here is work hard, but I want you guys to take that to the next level. Hold each other accountable. When I look at Angel, what are you doing, man? What are you doing, man? When I talk to him like that, he doesn't get around me not doing anything. Obviously, I earned that, right, with him because he knows it comes out of a loving place. Never disrespect somebody, never call somebody out their name, right? And no matter what somebody's production is, don't let that change your perception of them as a person. Always remember that, right? However, if you have a coach, the coach should coach and the player should play, right or wrong. Right? That's the unwritten rule. If my goal for me and him here is for him to come here and get rich doing it. If we become best friends in the process, I won twice. But never forget, the reason why somebody joined you is not to be your friend. It's to make a lot of money with you. Yes or yes?
Yes.
If I come here, hey, what are you doing? If Deshaun is not doing what he's supposed to do, you need to be the type of person that when you walk in the room, people that are not doing anything, they pretend to start doing something. You know how much more productive your life and your business would be if you create a culture of people that they come here to work? Guys, I'm not saying when you leave this office, do whatever you want. But in this office, we work. What do we do? Work. That's what we do. All right. I want every single partnership, even the ones that are not involved. Like you're killing it right now. Celine's gotta love Primerica. gonna go to Panama, make some money, like, oh, man, like, this ain't working. Right, a new car, yeah, he loves Primerica, like, yo, this thing is crazy, because he's doing what he's supposed to do. See, the whole time the company would pay you, the only reason it doesn't is because you're not doing what you're supposed to. So guys, the whole theme of what we want going on here, right, leading up, ECBS is Friday. Everybody here should be going to ECBS. If you're not going to ECBS, don't ask me for coaching, don't ask me for advice, you're not serious about what you're doing. That's it. Everybody here should be going to ECBS. Yesterday, our team, so proud, man, like we gave out, I think it was like 11 or 12 shirts, Eric, right? Yesterday, guys, show up in uniform. You know, everybody's gonna be in a shirt on Saturday. Why would you wear something else? Like, you wanna be part of the team. You with me? The shirts are super cool. There's still some in the back as well, right? They're almost gone. Don't be the person without a t-shirt, right? It's only $20. And if something's happening financially, just talk to every people like, hey man, I really wanna be part of the team, dude. Like, I don't wanna be that guy.
You don't have a shirt, you got bad credit.
You don't gotta do your credit. Get the shirt, guys, okay? I got some stuff that I'm gonna cover later on in the week on what I expect you guys, like behavior, etiquette. You know, one thing about our team, we always show up early. We stay the whole time. We take notes, okay? And we're not up on the hallways wondering. We wait 3 to 6 months to hear these people speak that have made over $100 million with our company. When these events come, I don't get out of my seat. Because I've been waiting 6 months to hear this guy. Bill Render, I've never heard him in person. Bill Render's career cash flow here is north of $100 million. That's a lot of money, guys. That's a lot of money. Why would we wait 3, 6 months? Who here has heard Bill Render in person before? Brian. Brian's been here 12 years. We can't wait 6, 7 months, guys. And when we there, you guys are not taking notes. You guys gotta be like recording it. It's gotta be like a drug, like, oh man, that you want. Right? Always remember, teams fill out, like successful players, front to the back. When you fill out a room, front to the back. When you guys get there, don't be sitting in the freaking back. How cool is this? This is the only event that is $25, no matter where you sit. At a concert, if you wanna sit at the front, what do you gotta do? Pay more money. This is the only event. You pay a standard ticket, you can sit in the front. Why wouldn't we do that? You with me? So guys, we're excited. This year, we're gonna knock out the $1 million. It's amazing. And we have some amazing superstars that are coming right behind us. I believe that we can do it. So today, in this office, we give you guys permission to bully people that are not working. Bully them. Record them, put them on the chat. But seriously, okay, guys? Anyways, let's work hard. We're gonna kill it today. We are.